What do I love about project management? My name is Guilherme and I'm a project management expert. I help professionals to become successful project managers. Before I start, uh, this is part of the warm up of the Project Management Summit. The Project Management Summit is a free event I'm going to make to help you to further develop your project management skills. So if you don't know anything about project management or if you have some notion about project management but you want to grow, that's what the event you can attend. Everything is free. So we are going to have a lot of content, exercise, extra reading material, and by the end, people complete all the event, they are going to have a certification. So everything is free. Click in the link here below and subscribe. And also don't forget to like and share this video because that helps my channel to grow, but also that helps this content to get to more people. And I appreciate a lot if you can help me with that. The content that I decided to do today, what do I love about project management, is basically a question that I got in this survey from the Project Management Summit. So basically, for the people that's subscribing for the Project Management Summit, I run a survey. Why? Because I want to understand more about you, what are your challenges, where you are in your career, to better understand, of course, how I can add value for you. And there's an open question for you. So, okay, what would you ask me? And some of those questions, of course, I want to make sure that I answer them. And so this is what do I love about project management that I want to start about. To fully answer this question, and of course, I need to talk about a bit more about me to make sure, of course, you understand why I love project management. So even from I think from the beginning, when I was a kid or a teenager, I always love to learn, and meaning that I like to learn different stuff. So I remember, for example, when I was a teenager, I always loved business also. So I was reading like the biography of Jack Welch. Jack Welch was one of the most famous CEO. He was the CEO of General Electric for 20 years and so on. He put the company as one of the biggest company in the world and blah blah blah. But I always liked to read about business, about finance, strategy, and so on. And so I had to learn, and I always liked variety. So, and when I first started work as a project manager, I think it was early beginning of 2009. I was still studying engineer, and I had the chance to work as an intern in a project management department of Toshiba South America. Toshiba was doing their infrastructure projects and energy infrastructure substations, preparing electrical infrastructure for like wind farm, transmission and distribution. So, and I remember when I started this internship there, only there, of course, I started to realize what project management was about because before that I did not have any training, experience, certification, or anything. I had no idea what project management was about, to be honest. And when I start to see the project managers work in the company, I start to see like the project manager there, he or she, they were responsible for the entire project there, meaning they were the responsible for the engineering team, they were the responsible for the procurement, they had people reporting to them, they were the responsible for the site. So this was engineering, procurement, and construction type of project. So there was a site where there was a civil construction, there was an assembly there going on, then a commissioning and startup to make sure that everything is working. So I start to see that as a project manager, you would have a lot of things to learn because one day they were talking about with the site manager talking about civil construction, the other day they were talking about with the design team about the electrical design or about the automation, and the same day they were talking with the procurement to see what is the best deal for the supply chain that you can do for the project, what types of how you're going to select the supplier, what are the specifications that you have. Other day you are talking about with the legal department negotiating a contract, and the other day we are facing the customer negotiating um, negotiating claims or additional orders and so on. So all those different areas provide a lot of chances to learn, which of course that's why I mentioned in the beginning that I love to learn. So that was amazing. And of course, while I'm not from the beginning, but then I find out later in my life that I also like variety, meaning I have a background in electrical engineer, which it's very interesting. But I also, when I start to work with project management, then I also say, oh, I can also learn civil engineer, and That's something very nice. And of course, when I'm looking, I'm telling, I start to learn civil engineer. I'm not a civil engineer, so I'm not an expert in the topic, but I understand the basics. What are the basics to create a design? What are the basics for the construction there? What are the metrics that or KPIs that you have there, key performance indicators, what you need to do for the concrete, how you need to think about steel, how you're going to plan a construction there. I start to learn on that one, and I start to learn procurement, how you select suppliers, how you're going to negotiate it, what's important to include in the contracts, how you're going to follow up with those suppliers, contract negotiation. I start to have contact with legal, and I would provide feedback and say, because we were part of the negotiation, for example, when the company is going to be award for a business for a customer, then you have to sign a contract, and then you would read the contract and provide feedback for the legal department. Say this item is too risky, this scope here is not clear, this is going to impact the business case, this is additional risk for the project. So from the start, I start to understand with project management I would have a lot of areas that I could possibly learn and a lot of variety. So I participated, for example, I had contact with HR because we had hired people for the project. For example, when I was a project manager at Toshiba South America there, the site manager, I had people reporting to me like a planning and control engineer, the site manager, and all the people working the site. So you have to hire people. You have organize holidays for over the holidays for those people. Sometimes they ask a raise, and all those kind of stuff is going through. So from these specific positions as a project manager, there was a vast areas that I could learn. So that by itself, it starts to amazing me because within my need to learn and my need to variety, say I can go in all different areas from design, procurement, civil construction, assembly, commission, to automation, to HR with the legal, talk, viewing business case, negotiation, talking with the customer. So all those things amaze me. That, of course, I'm telling you why I love it. That from the beginning does not mean that I learn everything at once, right? To develop the skills, it takes time. You need to dedicate yourself. But I saw all the possibilities there. And later on, I also see that project management could be an opportunity to develop an international career, which of course at this point I was already in love with project management. But that also enhances even more what I like, what I mentioned. I like to learn and I like variety. Because later on, as a project manager, I could move for a different type of project to develop a global supply chain. Again, understand what's a global supply chain, what's a footprint, how you're going to select suppliers in a global scale, what strategic sourcing I have to understand, understanding what's important while planning your supply chain. Then I have to understand a completely new industry, automotive, completely new type of jargon. Again, this is fulfilling my need for variety and my need to learn. And while I was progressing, moving to another difference, again, then I had to understand manufacturing because I was working in a construction environment. So I was more used, not that I say I know everything about construction, not about that, but I have pretty decent knowledge. So if I end up in a construction project, I can follow through even a lot of technical discussions, for example, for civil works. And then I had to learn, okay, what's the manufacturing environment? Then I start to learn about Lean, which is Lean comes from the Toyota Production System, which is a huge universe there. What's value stream mapping? What's 5S? What's cycle time? What's changeover? What's EOE? What's yield? All this information, what's capability, how you make sure that the process is stable, what you need to make sure to have this in mass production. All those types of things, it starts to filling up my need for variety, starts to broaden my horizon, and all those things is just because project management. And on the top of that, for example, while I was working in Brazil and also in other companies, I had the chance in Brazil. I had a chance to visit half of the states, so they had my job as a project manager give me the opportunity to travel. Like when I was working in different type of projects, I had customers, for example, already in Europe, in Italy. I would used to travel. This is before COVID, of course. I used to travel every month to Italy. Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's a pretty good deal to go to Italy. Italy, it's an amazing country. It's an amazing food there. very nice. I had the chance to go to Italy. I had the chance to go to Germany. I had the chance to go to Poland. Because of my job, I had the chance to go to Belgium. I had the chance to visit half of the states in Brazil. As a project manager, I also gained a lot of opportunities to grow because I started to work even at Toshiba. There, they gave me opportunities to do training on leadership, on teamwork, to attend conference there, and of course to develop myself to a point that I ended up getting project management professional certification. So there was very nice opportunities to travel that I like it. Now I travel less because now I have kids and the type of project I handle is different. And of course, post COVID, everybody's traveling less, I think. Uh, but how those opportunities I got because of project management. And project management is looking for the financial part that gave me the opportunity to develop an international career. So I moved from Brazil, and now I'm a international project manager leading international programs there, working with teams. It gave me the chance to work in a global scale. For example, I work in projects right now. I have people in my team in the United States, in the Netherlands. I have people in Malaysia. I have people in China. I have people in Hong Kong. I have people working in India. I work with different manufacturing sites from Korea, uh, Thailand, China. All those opportunities because it fulfills again why is nice. And I always thought, okay, I always had this dream. Maybe it's stupid to, so it's very nice to work with people around the world because I always like to travel. But if you work with people, you can understand a bit more about their culture, how they behave, what's important, what kind of holidays they have, and all those kind of stuff. I end up learning, I end up developing. So it fulfills a lot of my needs to work with project management from variety and learning, but also to global, understand a bit more the global picture, work with different people, give me the chance to travel. Project management is also provide nice salary opportunities there. So if you look for different types of positions, like I have a background in engineering, so as a project manager, usually you get the salary. It's a bit higher than even an engineer, which is already a very decent salary. So project management gives all those opportunities to learn, to develop myself, to develop my career, and even I found out I like. I end up when I start work, I found out that I like to teach. I even and because what I'm doing with project management now also give me the opportunity to teach, to help people. But also something that was very important for me from the beginning of my career. Uh, for me, it's also very important on one of my values. It's to understand that I'm doing something that's meaningful, that's helping people in organizations to do that. So as a project manager, I can do stuff that helps the organization. For example, in one of the projects that I was working on, basically we were developing a product. This product had to go to a qualification procedures and so on. And I was reviewing my plan, and I say, hey, but how? Then this plan review, I figured that we bought just few features that we need for this specific qualification there. Then I talk with my lead engineer, say we have I don't know two, and we probably need 10 or 12. And I talk with him, say yeah, it's true. And then we had this discussion kind of 3 months ahead, and then we of course we order more. Good thing that we were 3 months ahead because the lead time for those things were around 10 to 12 weeks. So if we had not done that in advance, we would have delayed the entire project. So why I'm telling you this story? Because what I mentioned before, this gives me the sense that I'm really contributing to the team. I'm really contributing to the project, to organization to be more effective, to deliver value. So I see in project management, and if you've been following me a lot, I mentioned that a lot. Project management is about delivering value, And as a project manager, I can do that. And what's value? Value is delivering something that's meaningful for the organization. Sometimes value is saving money for the organization, but value as a project manager can mean reduce risks, make sure that you avoid issues. All those things are value. And with project management, I get that. On top, of course, nowadays we have project management. I have the opportunity to work remotely. For example, if you're a process engineer, depending on the type of position that you have, if you're working in a lab, in a manufacturing site, you need to be there every day. As a project manager, it's fine for me to work remotely. Right now, I'm in Brazil. I come here a bit earlier. I'm going to stay here to for Christmas. And I don't know when you are watching this video, but we are talking here, it's early December 2024. So I'm going to stay here. Of course, I'm working remotely. So I'm going to work from here, spend Christmas with my family and my wife's family in Brazil. Then we go back to the Netherlands, and this is where I live. So I can work remotely. So there's a lot of things that project management give me from what I need personally. I like to learn. I like to have variety, what I can get there. For example, as part of variety, I've worked already in energy construction, automotive supply chain development, automotive product development, service development, healthcare, and I'm working with semiconductor industry product development. So gain variety. It gives me opportunity to develop myself, to develop my career, give me salary opportunities. Also, that's of course it's important. Give me the chance to work remotely. Give me the chance to work with global teams. All those things are things that I love about project management. So why I'm sharing that? Because I guess there's of course people with similar needs, and I like learning in variety, and of course people that want to further develop your career. If you are looking for opportunities, project management right now is growing a lot. Why? Because a project is basically in any type of industry. What's a project? It's a project is any if a company wants to develop a new product, a new service, a new store, a new manufacturing site, a new assembly line, a change energy matrix. For example, the global we say globally we want to change our energy matrix to something that's more sustainable. All those things they are going to run via project. If the company wants to grow, if they want to acquire market share, they want to develop new products, all those things are projects. That's why you see project management in all industries. And again, I love that because that gives me the opportunity as a project manager. Of course, I might not go for all industries, but for my need for a variety, that's plenty of opportunities. I might decide to change industry. Right now, I'm working in the semiconductor industry and consultancy industry. Yeah, with as a consultant, I also can move around. So that fulfill a very interesting need for me. And because all those things that I mentioned, there are projects, there's expectation that there's research from Project Management Institute. Project Management Institute is the biggest project management institution around the world. That by 2030, it's expected that we are going to have a gap of 25 million project management professionals in the world. This gap is so significant that we expect a very big impact in the global GDP there because, well, if the companies cannot grow, if they cannot develop new technology, new products, new services, if they now cannot expand, the economy also does not grow. So that also is going to impact the global economy there. So that's another way that you think as a project manager, if you are helping to develop, you are helping sustainability, you are helping to develop new technology, you are helping to improve people's life. So here again, my my idea that I like to provide value, I like to do something meaningful, something that I'm proud to tell my kids. I have two kids, two boys. So that's very interesting. I can tell them, hey, I've worked in a wind farm, for example. I really worked in a project that executed a wind farm. I was responsible for the electrical infrastructure there. So that's something meaningful that I'm helping the entire world with that. Of course, not only me, but all the team and all the companies involved there. But I'm being part of something meaningful that helps society in general. And of course, if companies grow, if the economy develops, they also pay taxes, they create jobs, and so on. So project management, it's a real need for the world. Maybe I'm naive, but yes, that's the way I see it. So there's plenty of opportunities. We see a talent gap going, and we see that if nothing change, the global GDP will be impacted there. And there's of course, here's another way project management is fulfilling my need by developing content and helping people to develop their project management skills. I'm helping to form more people, more manpower, more qualified people that can work in those project management positions that are going to be there. So I'm also trying to help to fulfill a gap that we see 25 million of people globally. It's a lot of people. And this gap is also driven for the economy growth, but also because in the upcoming years we expect that a lot of people that has been working with project management, they are going to start to retire. So we really need more people to get in the industry to start to develop their skills. And from the perspective that I like to add value while I'm training people, that's also what I'm doing, right? If I'm training people and helping people to develop their skills, I'm helping to fulfill a gap that's important for the entire globe there, for the entire world. So that's something very interesting, and those are the main facts that I like for project management. So I have the chance I have the chance to work with a lot of different people. For example, only on the PM Craft here, I talk with people all over the world. I talk with people from Brazil, from US, from Canada, from all over Europe, from Africa, from Asia, from Australia, from New Zealand. For me, that's amazing because being a person that likes to travel, I've visited around already. I visited Asia, I visited New Zealand, of course, travel around Europe, North America, South America. Being in contact with all those people for me, it's really fulfilling, and that's of course part of the reasons why I love project management because I'm only here because of project management, and this fulfilled my need for variety, for the need to learn because while I'm teaching people I'm also learning. I'm something is say I know something, it's in my mind. It's a completely different game to try to explain that to people in a way that they can fully grasp this. I can contact different people. So if you are looking, that's why I'm sharing my experience here, that maybe inspire you that are considering project management. Keep in mind if your goal is to develop your project management skills, my goal is to support you. That's why every week there's more content on my channel. Every day there's more content on my Instagram there. Make sure that you can ask your questions there, and I'm here to support you. And of course, don't forget this part is of the warm up for the Project Management Summit. So click in the link here and subscribe. Everything is free. There you're going to take your steps to develop your project management skills, and I can support you there. And of course, if you have more questions why I love project management, more questions about my background, feel free to ask in the comments. Send me a direct message on Instagram. If you subscribe for the PM Summit, you can reply from one of my emails. And I hope I'm going to see you there. Thank you and see you soon. Bye.